gentlemen, welcome back to the Daily Dimensions podcast. As always, I am your host, Smitty, back with another one, man. And I'm excited, as always, to bring you another episode here at the Daily Dimensions podcast, man. And as I was putting this episode together, and by putting together, I mean I wrote four points on my paper. But as you know, I got the gems in the phone, and I couldn't find nothing in my phone for the first time ever. I'm like, what do I want to talk about right now? And then I was like, you know what? I got it. I said, I got it. So what we're talking about today is something that, quite honestly, I have to remind myself a lot, and I know y'all need it too, because I need it. And if I need it, you need it. But today we're talking about finishing what you start. And finishing what you start is so important because you don't want to be someone who's identified as a quitter, for one, but two, you don't want to be identified as someone who can't get the job done. You don't want to be someone who never realized your dreams or your purpose because you never saw it to the finish line. You don't want to be that person who was one step away from greatness. You don't want to be that person that was just one more try, one more effort, one more conversation, one more just like real genuine effort away from the finish line. You don't want to be that person. And for me, finishing what I start has been a journey, right? I used to be that person where if I didn't like something, like if something just wasn't the way I wanted it to be, I stepped away from it, because us as human beings, us as creatures, like we naturally move away from things we don't like and things that don't feel good, and naturally move to things we do like and things that do feel good. You feel me? So like one example was football. Right? High school, I only played 2 years of football. Should have played all 4. I was nasty. But first year as a starter, went all conference, something like that. But I stopped my sophomore year because I started to not like it no more. And it wasn't that I didn't like football. They were pushing me to a point I had never been before. And I didn't like the growing pain that came along with it. It was uncomfortable. I had never been there before. I had never been coached that hard. I had never been worked that hard. So it was uncomfortable. I didn't like it. I'm like, it's easier to just chill and kick it with my friends and go play 2K and ride my bike around and go to the store. It's easier to do all that. And I had more fun doing all that. So I was like, F that, I'm leaving. I'm out. You feel me? I gotta go. And if you were someone who went to Central High School and was coached under Dave Catalina, the conditioning was crazy. The workout plan was crazy. And you was doing gassers for everything, everything. And it never ended. He said one more and one more meant 10 more. It was pain. So like me being about 14 and a half, 15, going through that, and I've never been through that before. And I was never, this was my first time ever playing football. So now it's like, man, if this is what it's like, I don't want to do that. So I quit. And that pattern of behavior followed me, whether it was a job, whether it was football my freshman year of college, whether it was anything. Like I would find myself, I'm like, yo, I don't like this. I'm done. Anytime I started to not like something, I was done. And eventually I got to a point where I had to learn how to balance that, because leaving is a good thing if you're not valued. I don't want to say stick to everything forever. Some things you need to stick it out and keep trying because there's a blessing on the other side of that. And some things you need to leave because it's not safe for you. You're not valued. You're not appreciated. Get out of there. Run. Right. And I didn't know the difference. I was just leaving at any minor inconvenience. I'm like, yeah, this isn't really doing it for me no more. I don't like this. I'm out. And, it wasn't really till getting into college and doing everything I could to get my degree that I was like, nah, you got to push through to the other side, and even playing football in college. Right. My first year playing, that was a whirlwind, man. We're up at camp, and while I'm in camp, my brother gets extremely sick and nearly loses his life. And I'm in camp thinking about this, and I'm like, Coach, I gotta leave. And I left for a day, spent the day with him, and then went back to camp. And I'm in camp in practice, like crying, because it's like, yo, I don't think my brother is gonna make it. Like it was a lot emotionally. And I'm like, but I can't quit. And it's like, that really tested me in a way. And I had to find ways to like get the support from my teammates, my friends, my family, because I couldn't just quit. I couldn't just walk away. And even with finishing school, like I wanted to leave school so many times. There was so many barriers to my education. There's an episode on that. Actually, go tap into it. A couple episodes back, man. But I think it's called Difficult Not Impossible. Go listen to it. It's one of my first episodes. But like, there was moments where I'm sleeping on the floor in a friend's apartment for weeks because I didn't have housing. I was prepared to sleep in my car. I was stealing food. Like, it was so many different things going on. Like, I'm working 3 jobs at one time, and you just got to push through to finish because that's an investment. I'm like, I'm paying all this money. I'm going to get this piece of paper at the end. So that really started to develop in me in them college years, man. I'm like, yo, I got to push through. I gotta win. I got to do this. I got to get through that. And it's something that now that I've learned it, carry it with me in this platform, because I can't just quit. You feel me? I had a real transparent discussion with my boy Todd Avery. He was on the show last week. Tap into that episode if you didn't. And we talked about being in this space, being people who do this kind of thing. And you don't see a lot of the challenges behind the scenes. And I'm gonna tap into some of that this episode. I might really give y'all that episode on that. But there are so many challenges behind the scenes of what we do, and everyone I know in this space can attest to it. But there's so much behind it that'll just drive you insane. And if you don't love this for real, that you'll quit. And even when you do love it, there's moments where you like, I don't know, bro. I need a break. I need a vacation. I might quit. I don't want to do this no more. It's not doing what it's supposed to do, which I'll be saying it's not giving what it's supposed to give. Like, it's just not doing it right now. And we and him had a very transparent conversation. And it's like, you get caught up in so much, and there's so much stuff going on, and there's so many different things happening. There's so many things that play with your mind where it's like, I don't know if I want to do this no more. This ain't working. Like, do I really still want to do this? And you be ready to quit a lot. But there's a reason you're in this space. You were called to this space. There's purpose for you in this space, and someone is benefiting from your content in this space. Someone is being blessed by the message you're sharing. Someone is laughing at the thing you're sharing. Somebody's day is literally better because of what you created and how you put a piece of yourself into that. So you can't just quit on that. It's going to be tough because it's like, oh, it's not growing the way I want it to grow. It's not moving the way I want it to move. I don't want to do this, but you're in that for a reason. You were called to that space for a reason, and you have to weather that storm. You have to finish what you start. You have to see this thing to fruition. You can't just be like, oh, it's rough right now, I'm done. No, there's people that really care about what you're delivering. There's people that need your product, need your service, need your content, need what you're offering, need what you're delivering, need you, and need you in that capacity of what you do. You feel me? So you can't just walk away from it because it's hard. It's meant to be hard. If it was easy, everybody would do this, right? We've seen 1 million people make a podcast, and we've seen 1 million people stop in the first month, the first 6 months, the first year, the first 2 years. A lot of people stop. The ones that really care, we're still here, man. And we're still making it happen. There's so many people with these platforms that are doing some amazing things, man. And we need you here. And it's whether you have a platform like this, or you're trying to finish your degree, you're trying to start your own business, you're trying to further your education, you're trying to get that next promotion, you're trying to do whatever it is you want to do. You people, we need you. And because we need you, you can't quit. But not just because we need you, but you need you. And that's why you can't quit. Because the level of one disappointment, but the hole that sits inside of you when you step away from something you know you was supposed to be doing, when you step away from something that you know you was called to and you know that you love, and you just stepped away from it because it was hard, that hole that sits inside of you cannot be filled, bro. Like, until you step back into what you were supposed to do. When I stepped away from football, that hole could not be filled until I got back on that field and started kicking ass. Like, I had to get back out there. You know, when I stepped away from certain jobs, even, like, that hole couldn't be filled until I pushed through, you know, with school and like where I'm trying to go with my life. That void couldn't be filled until I saw it to the end and I walked across that stage and I said, Mama, I made it. You feel me? And I got that degree with my whole name on it, like in the old English writing. Like, I needed that. I had to have that. And I encourage anyone who's trying to do anything, be anything, which is all of you, because I hope you're trying to be something and make something of yourself. Please don't be no deadbeat. But you can't quit. You can't quit. And especially for all of my Connecticut listeners, man, like, I don't care who supports you. Like, you see it on the line where people be like, oh, you know, Connecticut only supports popularity. They don't support talent and this and that. There's a million and one excuses. Please just be better. Just be better and continue to get better. When I started this, I was not the greatest. And I look back at things I created in the beginning and I'm like, I do so much better now. You know, so like when you start, it's gonna be rough, but keep getting better. And the people that stick with you will stick with you. It's just how it goes. There's that wave of when you first start, everybody supports you because it's new. It's like, oh my God, you're doing something new. Let me follow you. Then it just completely falls off. And then it's like, oh, he's still going. Let me jump back into it. It's waves. It comes and goes, man. But like at the end of the day, you're doing this for a reason. And the people that need to hear what you need to hear are going to hear it, man. Like, I don't know why y'all keep listening to me, man. But y'all tune in every Monday. Y'all listen every Monday. It's listeners all around the planet tapping into Daily Dimensions every week because this is what they love. And I appreciate every one of y'all, but it's absolutely necessary in whatever you're doing. Do not quit. You got to push through and see that joint to the end. Just because it's hard and it sucks, oh well, everything is hard. Anything worth having in life is worth suffering for. If you want to get to healing, you got to be willing to fight tooth and nail for healing. If you're trying to be the first one in your family to break the cycle of poverty, you need to be fighting tooth and nail to get to that. You want to be the first one with a degree. You want to start your own business. You want to be the first one with a successful, healthy family, a functioning unit. Like, you need to fight tooth and nail for that. That's not a game. That's not to be played with. You got to take that seriously, and you can't just stop because it feels inconvenient sometimes. A lot of the best things in your life are on the other side of an inconvenience. Like, setting all this up, because we transparent here. This is what we do at Daily Dimensions. It's no secret. My podcast friends know, my platform friends know, I don't like doing these videos. If I could sit here and just do audio forever, bang, I really love audio. I do not love video. And having to set all this up, chop it up, edit it, it is a pain. But on the other side of that inconvenience, I've been able to reach so many more people because I do videos now and I have a platform that's on YouTube. And because I'm able to reach more people, I'm able to bless more people. And I look at them YouTube comments and I see people saying, wow, God led me to this video. Wow, I really needed to hear this today. Man, God is moving in your life. Thank you so much for this. I had to hear this. Keep doing the good work. Had I not fought through this inconvenience of having to do all this and learn how to do all this, because it's a lot, I wouldn't have been able to reach those people and impact those people. So just because it's tough don't mean you get to just be like, oh, well, it's hard today, I'm not going to do it. No, get your ass up and let's make this happen. There's no room for you to just be like, I'm done here. No, no. We're going to get this done. And with all that being said, let's actually get to the notes. I know I went in for a little bit, but I had to say it. Multiply what's given. That's just the first thing I wrote. Let's touch on that. When you start with something and it's just like I said before, the natural growth of what it is. When you have a talent, when you have something you're amazing at, when you have a gift, when you have a calling on your life, you got to take that thing and multiply it. And you can't just sit there and be like, oh yeah, I have this gift and not use it for nothing. Like for me, one of my gifts is speaking, right? And speaking started as I have a podcast, which is audio, turned into we do audio and video, turned into now I get paid speaking engagements as a professional speaker. I lead trainings. I'm getting booked to speak at graduations and all of these different things. So that one gift, we've multiplied it. I didn't just say, oh, I'm good at speaking and I only talk to my friends. You feel me? I only talk to my girlfriend or whoever I'm in a relationship at the time. I only talk to my family. Like, I didn't just take that and keep it for myself. I had to take it and multiply it and share it with the world. If your gift is, I don't know, you're just good at helping people, you're in a medical profession or whatever it is, like it just comes naturally to you, multiply that. You feel me? If you're someone who was good at music, yeah, it's great that you can sit in your room and play for yourself, but take that and multiply it. You feel me? Find a way to scale what is given to you. Scale what your talent is. If your gift is, I got friends that are in the fitness, right? No secret, Shark Bay Fitness, Nick Tulloch, all them people, man, right? It's great that you were able to get yourself in shape. They took that and multiplied it to, yeah, I have a business where I help other people change their lives, or I help Division I athletes get to the NFL. You feel me? Like they've taken that and multiplied it. So if you have a gift, if you have a talent, you have a calling and a purpose, not only are you not allowed to quit, you have to push through all that pain and inconvenience, but you have to take what's given to you and multiply it. Because if you're blessed with such a gift and a talent and don't do nothing with it, that's not just a waste, but it's like a smack in the face to the person that gave that gift to you. You feel me? Like that is a waste. So multiply what's given, finish what you start, knowing when to walk away. We touched on that a little bit. If something is no longer serving you the way it's supposed to serve you, please walk away from it. If you're not safe, if it's not healthy, if it's no longer aligned with your purpose and your calling, if it's not doing what it's supposed to do for you, please walk away, especially in relationships. As a man who struggled heavily with codependency, walk away. Please walk away. And some of y'all need to Google what that is and see how it applies to your life, because that's a lot of us. We deal with that. Not no more though. I'm better now. But be prepared to walk away when it's no longer serving you. Some things are fixable, cool, but not everything is. If it's fixable at your job, fix it. But if they keep passing you up for a raise 3 years in a row, you probably need to go, bro. You feel me? If your relationship not working out, try and fix it. But if it ain't, it's time to go. You feel me? If you're trying to force a business venture to work and it's just not working, like it's been in the same place for years and it has not multiplied or elevated in any such a way, be prepared to walk away. And sometimes it's the hardest to walk away from things that we created or we started. Like, if this was a failure, if Daily Dimensions was a failure, and I'm like, man, I gotta walk away from this, that's hard, because I put so much into myself into this. Like, I poured so much into this. So to just walk away from something you've poured a lot into is hard, right? To walk away from a relationship you poured a lot into is hard, because anytime you've invested so much time, energy, and just so much of yourself into something, it's hard to walk away. But there's going to be times in your life where those are the things you got to walk away from, because it's just not it no more. And thankfully, this is still it. And I don't got to walk away from this, because y'all be listening and I love y'all. You feel me? We still here. But there's going to be a time where you have to walk away from something like that. And you got to be ready to do that hard work, man. You feel me? Like, you got to be ready to fight when you need to fight. And you got to be ready to walk away and throw in the towel when it's time to walk away and throw in the towel. So bang, there's that. Next piece, working smarter, not harder. We have this thing here in this world where, we talk about hustle culture and you just got to work really, really hard. No amount of hard work is going to outdo working smart. You can work as hard as you want to, but effort without knowledge is a waste of time. It is an absolute waste of time. The same amount of effort you put into just carrying out the action, you have to put just the same, if not twice as much effort into the knowledge centered around what it is you're doing. It's a reason why social workers have to do hundreds of clinical hours. You feel me? It's a reason why doctors and nurses have to do all these clinical hours. There's an investment in the knowledge that needs to take place. There's no amount of, I'm going to just try really hard and now I can do brain surgery because I tried really hard. No, you have to invest in the knowledge. For the knowledge is way more important than the action. You feel me? Like, you have to be sound in what you have and what you're doing before you just go in and apply a bunch of effort to it. You don't want to just burn yourself out because you tried really, really hard and it didn't get nowhere because you didn't have the knowledge to apply that energy in the right places. I think I was seeing a clip of Denzel saying it, or somebody, whoever said it. I hope you get your credit, but they were talking about there's a lot of people running, but they're on treadmills and they're not going nowhere. There's a whole lot of motion, but no progress. You feel me? There's a whole lot of energy being exerted, but you didn't actually move anywhere. You're still in the same place as when you started, but it feels like you're trying really hard and you exerted a lot and you ran the equivalent of a mile, but you didn't actually go anywhere. You might have ran the equivalent of a mile in like 4.5 minutes. Great time. And you didn't go nowhere because you're on that treadmill of life. And if you take that same amount of energy, but invest in that knowledge as well, that's what gets you off the treadmill. And now that same mile that you did on the treadmill, you got a lot further because you got off the treadmill and you went a mile in an actual direction. You feel me? Like there's a whole lot of energy being exerted. There's a whole lot of motion happening, but there's no progress. And that progress comes by applying that same energy with the knowledge. It's like that quote, you got to measure twice and cut once. The effort is in the cutting, but the measurement is what made the cut perfect. You feel me? So that knowledge base, that research, that application, like pay for a course or something. You feel me? YouTube University is great, but some of these courses, go pay for a course, get next to somebody that knows more than you do, take notes, go get in the room with these people. You feel me? Just the other week, I went to go see Idris Sandu and Damon John. Like, I need the knowledge. I'm hungry for that knowledge, and you have to go get it. And then when it comes to taking that knowledge and then applying it, now you know how to apply it correctly. So please don't just get caught up in this culture where we just have to work really, 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 really hard. And because we work really hard, we're going to get what we want. That's a lie. You can work as hard as you want to and get nowhere in life and just be somebody that worked really hard. And that's your memory. He was a hard worker. Don't let that be you. Be someone who worked hard and made progress too. You feel me? So I hope, please get that and keep that with you. And the last thing, I'm gonna mention this and then we gonna run. We're not gonna run, but we are gonna run. So please, and I say this with love and care because I love y'all. Don't get stuck. All right. Please don't get stuck. If you have a dream, a calling, a purpose, please don't get stuck where you are. It's very easy to have a dream of doing one thing, but your current job pays you enough to just stay there. And I found myself in that position before, and it's hard. It's hard, especially when they paying you right. When them checks every week it's a few thousands, it's got a couple commas in it. You get 401k jumping, 403b, Roth IRA. You got 4, 5, 6 weeks vacation time. Like it's lit. You got remote work sprinkled in there. You make your own schedule. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. But if it's not what you're called to do, as amazing as it is, it will never satisfy you. It will never satisfy you. And you'll find yourself 10 years down the line wondering where it all went left. You don't want to be that person that when you get older, you're having conversations with your kid and he's like, yeah, when I was younger, I wanted to do this. Do the things you want to do. Please find a way to do it. The last thing I want from my life is to be at the end of my life and say, man, I wish I did this. Everything I wish I did, I'm doing that right now. I'm finding a way to do that. And I'm not telling everybody go quit your job. You feel me? Jordan Smith did not say that. I didn't say go quit your job. But what I'm saying is, if you know your purpose, if you know your calling, if you know you're gifted, let's say you gifted with your hands, right? And you love cars, please don't get stuck working at UPS when you really need to go open your own auto body shop. You feel me? Like something like that. That's an example, right? Like, please don't get stuck doing something that clearly does not fit your talents and your purpose because they pay you well. Don't get stuck at at wherever it is you are when you know your gift and calling and purpose is carrying you somewhere else. You know, if you're meant to be a barber and you stuck working at Target, no, you need to be in there cutting hair. Like, if you meant to be a nurse and you stuck here working the front counter at CVS, no, like, get out of there. It's great, cool, is giving you money for the time, but you need to step into what you know it is you were called to do. And the same amount of effort we put into all the extravagant things, we need to put that into our dreams, because we'll put a ton of effort in. Like, our culture, we're so guilty of this. We'll put so much effort into doing everything we can for an experience. We'll work the extra hours. We'll save the money. We'll get the discounts. We'll get the travel agent just so we can have an experience and go on vacation. Right? We will put so much effort in when it's like, man, I got to go get this experience and go on vacation. I got to go to Jamaica. I got to go to Africa. I got to go to Thailand. I got to go to Turkey and all these different, I got to see the 7 wonders of the world and all these different things. We'll put so much effort in to make sure we get that done, but we won't put half as much effort into making sure we accomplish what our dreams are. Right? We'll try and quote unquote manifest this extravagant life and romanticize the life that we live. And the whole time, our real life, we ain't doing what we supposed to do. We not doing what we supposed to do. Go finish what you started. Please go finish what you started, and stop putting so much effort in for these extravagant things when you need to be putting effort into your passion and your purpose. And those extravagancies will come. You feel me? Like, they will come. Those vacations will always be there. Them islands will always be there. The festivals will always be there. All of that will continue to be there. You only get a limited time on this earth to really reach your purpose. You can always find some money to go on vacation. You can always find some money to go on some trip. You only get a certain amount of time to reach your purpose. So with that being said, finish what you started. Go out there and be great today. Remember what I told you. Don't let me down, but most importantly, don't let you down. Finish what you started. Let's step into it, multiply what God has given you, and let's be great today, man. Come on. All right. Until next time, this is Daily Dimensions. Peace.